Did you pass it around? Pardon? Okay, folks, welcome back. Glad to have you. Next week, anybody know what next week is? Next Monday, when do we start? Presentations. So I want to get everybody prepared. I'm looking forward to the presentations that I hopefully can say, well done, great job. So let's do this. So today is Monday, and we're 11. Basically, we're 11/11/2019. And what we're going to cover today is we're going to cover the ERP, look at what it is, the trends. We'll look at IT trends. I'll answer any questions about blockchain. What are the pillars of blockchain? I'm going to just use BC. We'll also talk about distributed versus centralized. We'll look at your mobile apps, and then we'll talk about recording. Remind me, we'll talk about recording your mobile apps. Anything else? I think it's enough, right? There's a roll going around. Where's the roll? Okay, please pass it. And the last one, I guess, Zach, you're the last one again. Pass it to me when you're done. Okay, so let's start our lovely session here. Let's do some place in which we want to go through it. Again, if you go to your regular section of your LMS, your Blackboard, you should see under web links, there's a couple of things that you need to know. There's something called tech trends. I mentioned it last time, but there's 6 major tech trends that we've talked about and the industry seems to talk about as well. Those 6 areas are digital transformation, machine learning, blockchain, Internet of Things, cloud computing, and big data. What I suggest you do is go over this link. It's the last link on your web links, and it's by SAP. SAP, if you had to talk about that company, what are they famous for? They're one of the biggest vendors for what? For ERP. And ERP stands for what? So what does ERP stand for? Scott, what does ERP stand for?
Enterprise Resource First Planning.
Exam, did you hear was going to be like that? So I'll ask questions in the oral, and I'll take the exam with you. Okay?
Sounds good to me.
Huh? Sounds good to you. So when I ask Scott, it will be oral exam, will go to each one of you, right? It works, okay. So, and my next question is always what? We've been here together for so many months together. What's usually my next question? Is what is it and what? Who cares? How can it be used in business? So traditionally, what enterprise resource planning is this diagram right here. And you'll see on your web links, you see this ERP trends, put this in your notes, that ERP trends will give you five enterprise resource planning trends to watch. So there's 2 links so far that I talked about. The last link I talked about was the IT trends, which is the last link. And the other one is enterprise resource planning, or the trends of ERP. So it looks like, Scott, you're on a roll today, right? So in this case, when we looked at ERP, when I look at this, it looks like all those circles look like what? Really basically what? Departments in a business, right? It almost looks in some ways like what? I have accounting, I have access control, I have to plan, I have to do production, do I have to sell? Do I have to have technology? And do I have to figure out storage? So basically, traditionally, this ERP, or enterprise resource planning, is an older software. In the way that they said, for the entire enterprise, let's have one software program that can handle all the needs of the company, of the enterprise. And traditionally, it has been on-premise. What do I mean by on-premise, Blake?
Is that like all of the information is on your hard drive, not in the cloud?
Okay, so on-premise, you can write this in your notes. On-premise usually means that my hardware is on the premises of the organization. And usually on-premise meant that my IT staff maintained it. The software and the hardware. So it's not just on your PC, but we maintained it. So Blake, you're on a roll too. So if I went with you, Blake,
Yeah,
and I said Ninja Trader in the lab, do you think that's on premise or in the cloud?
that's on premise.
It's on premise, why?
Because that software is downloaded on your computer.
It was downloaded on each computer, and who maintained it?
The Miami, like,
The School of Business IT staff. Now, we're not gonna get into how well they maintained it, right, Blake?
yeah,
And did we have any problems? Did we have issues? We had some issues until we got there, right? So the idea is, that's kind of you can think about it, that's, if you want to talk, what did I say? Text. Okay, so in this case, what we want to do is we can maintain it on-premise. So traditionally, ERP was on-premise or in the cloud, you think? Traditionally,
on premise.
on-premise. And now what do you think the trend is going to be? In the cloud, right? The whole idea is now the trend is going to be in the cloud. The premise also, you can read this, the premise is going to be what they call a SaaS. Put this in your notes. In chapter 13, you had homework for the quiz. You had something called SAS. So Zach, what's SAS?
Software as a service.
Software as a service. And your question then would be what? What's the next question? What is it? And how's that going to help business? So what is it? Software as a service. I'll talk about it. Have you ever used Office? Zach?
Yeah.
We're going to do a conversation. You've used Office. There's Office that you can download to your laptop,
Yeah.
and there's Office called Office 365. You know what the difference is?
No.
Let's do it. Everybody has a laptop in front of us. Let's figure out what is the difference between Office downloaded to my computer versus Office 365. So somebody look up what's Office 365 for me. Yes. It's online. And where does that mean online? It means it resides where?
The cloud.
In the cloud. Traditionally, right? Traditionally what happened? Zach, traditionally Office was what? On-premise or in the cloud?
On premise.
On-premise, meaning what? That everyone from the School of Business had to download in the lab a copy of Office and load it where? Blake? On the hard drive. And then you as a student that had a laptop had to go and download it from a website and download it onto your computer, onto your laptop. That's on-premise. So what is then, Cassie, what is then Office 365 when you said that it's online? So is that a software as a service? You think?
Yes.
Yeah, it's good. It's software, and I'll do that too, you know? Software as a service is basically subscription-based. Software as a service means that they can charge somebody monthly. Do you have software as a service? Basically, do you have as a service all the time? You have a mobile phone, right? Do you pay monthly? That's as a service, right? Do they love it? Because why? They can charge you each month. Internet service, they can charge you each month. That's as a service. What's the advantage to an enterprise to have that? What's an enterprise? Ross, what's the advantage to an enterprise?
With Office 365, I believe because it requires no storage on their computers, so just that one monthly payment for the whole company.
Well, it's going to be monthly per user, but what's the advantage to the enterprise? Do they need staff when there's a new version?
Oh no.
Oh no, right? Do they need to maintain the computers? Oh no, when there's a new version, now there's an Office, let's say, now it's 2019, let's say next year it's 2020. Do I need to have a version for the Mac and have a version for Windows and maybe for Linux, for other ones? I have to maintain that. Do I need a staff to do that? No. Give it to Microsoft. Let them take care of it. It's just like when you think about your mail. They're using, what mail service do they use here on campus?
Outlook,
Outlook. Outlook is by whom?
Microsoft.
Microsoft. Do you think they use part of Outlook is 365, meaning, why do they use 365? 365 days in a year, 24/7, we will maintain it. Before, they used to have something called Microsoft Exchange, which was a separate computer in the School of Business that held every student, every faculty's ID, and then they handled all their mail. They had to get a whole staff of IT people, hire them. New version of Outlook, what did they have to do? They had to download it, they had to maintain it. The School of Business isn't into that, right? Enterprises say, give it to somebody else that knows it better. And why is it profitable for somebody like Microsoft? Because they can do what? Economies of scale. And does the university or any enterprise pay them each month? Yes, depending on the number of users they have. Versus buying the copy once, and maybe you're just going to use 2016 or 2010 is good enough for you, and you'll never buy it again. So they have what? All the time recurring revenues. That's why everybody, if you're an entrepreneur, everybody says, let me go for as a service. Let me charge them each month. Remember, like we were saying, I'll charge them $5 each month to maintain premium services. Remember we were talking about Wix, they were gracious enough to give us the premium plans, but if we wanted the premium plans, we would have to pay per month. So what is that? Software as a service. So when Wix adds new features, what happens? Do I have to worry about it as an institution? No. They're going to upgrade for me. So it's always there. So this is the trend or the competition from disruptors. And how ERP is changing is ERP says, hey, maybe I don't need all these modules. I just need human resources and I need financials. So I can just buy those. So that's competition from disruptors. Then I have something else. Look at this. It says cloud provider, and this says PAAS and IaaS. You'll need to know that for the exam. And I bet AAS is what? As a service, right? So, and I know S stands for software as a service. So what is P and what is I? Who can tell me? You all should be able to tell me, right?
Program.
Look it up. Let's not be, we don't even have to, this way we have open notes. What do we got for PAAS? Where everybody sign up?
Platform.
Platform as a service. So now we got to figure out what the heck is a platform. And you know what a platform is, you just don't know you know it. Just another word, it's just for somebody to confuse you. What is it? Carter, what is it? What does it say? Huh? Who can tell them? Who can help them? Help our friends tonight. Platform. Let me give you a hint. Windows is a platform. iOS is a platform. Android is a platform. Mac OS is a platform. So what's a platform? Yeah.
It's like an operating system.
Operating system. And why is that so great? I don't have to maintain a number of platforms. NinjaTrader, if we wanted it to run in the cloud, what would be beautiful about that? We don't have to basically, from your laptop, you could run NinjaTrader. So from your Mac, you can run NinjaTrader because what? We'd use it as what? A platform as a service and tell the cloud provider what? Go ahead and put NinjaTrader on your cloud, on your platform with what operating system? Windows. And then you don't have to mess with Windows on your machine. You see how now it opens up? Something runs on Linux. Do you have Linux? No. So this way you can do it. A lot of times, I want more memory. What do I have to do? I can do it. And what's the I for? So Ben, what's the I stand for?
Infrastructure.
Wow, infrastructure. And what the heck does that mean? So if I wanted to have a server with 64 gig of RAM, I wanted 4 terabytes of storage, and I wanted Windows and I wanted Mac. Do I have to buy machines like that? I can say, I can basically think about it as a service, get that as a platform, as a service. So basically, on demand, I get those services. And what's it good for the company? Microsoft is doing well now. Their stock has been doing well because what? They're doing cloud services. Amazon is doing well now because cloud services. The Azure or the AWS. So then I have ERP. Now we know what SaaS is, and then we have hybrids. So the hybrids is I may have some of my operations in the cloud, some of them on premises. And then you remember we talked about that term, edge computing. What's edge computing?
It was similar to cloud computing, but no, I was similar to on
Premise.
On-premise.
Because like on the edge,
uh,
right? So some things, you remember we were talking about Sal. By the way, he emailed me, you remember Sal with the facial and the guns? He's going to be on Channel 7 today at 10 o'clock. They're interviewing him. He was so excited. You know, here he is, a guy just, you know, from our program, and he just started on, you know, with his own, so he was really happy that he was getting it. But his edge computer is what? He does a lot of things in the cloud, but sometimes in that convenience store, he wanted to run some things in the convenience store on the server. He gave like a little pizza box on the server that he gave each convenience store. Because it's sometimes a little quicker. It's almost as if, remember we were talking about the trading strategies, and we said, if we wanted to do HFT, what's HFT? I'm throwing out these acronyms.
high frequency trading.
Right, high frequency trading. When we're doing high frequency trading, where do they want the server to be, Ben? Close or far away from the stock exchange?
Closer to.
And even there, they're almost like at the edge. They say, hey, I want to be, if it's right down in Wall Street, I want to be in that same building. Because for us, it really doesn't matter. When I get an email from you, what do I care that I have to blink a second? You know, sometimes you get an email, I'll send you a text. It takes a second or two. You can blink, right? But in high frequency trading, I should be in and out of that trade already. So sometimes even if my strategy is excellent, Ben, we may even loop and we back tested it and we say, hey, we're gonna make a fortune, you're gonna buy your yacht, you're gonna name it after me, remember that? So after that, it's just, but the thing is, if our server wasn't close enough, when we wanted to execute that trade,
I wouldn't get the yacht.
you wouldn't get the yacht, and I would be still here, okay? So this is the idea, so this right here. So this is kind of like a nice review of what we've learned. Adding, do we have social media, digital marketing? Yeah, let's add that. ERP, Internet of Things. I have a lot of IoT. Let me get all those electronic devices, bring that data into my ERP. And then if you want, go ahead and play this. So you can play this amount. Okay? What else did I say we were going to cover? So these were those, the blockchain show you what you need, it's a good review for the blockchain. Blockchain is what they call, put this in your notes, DLT, Distributed Ledger Technology. Who's my accounting major? What is a ledger?
A ledger, it's where you keep all of the, those things. You write down everything that happens.
Look it up, look it up so you can be articulate. My accounting grade, I'm gonna use you for, you're gonna be with Ben in the startup, we're gonna get the yacht, and you're not gonna go like this. I don't want you in
It's
front
just
of
where
investors
you
to
keep
go like
track of
this.
all the financial accounts,
Yeah, but look it up, what did you find for ledger?
where you keep track of all the financial accounts.
Yes, right. Did you look it up?
Yes,
What does it say?
it says, the book or other collection of financial accounts.
Right. So I'm gonna keep it in the financial account. Distributed, usually what we've had traditionally is we'd had what we call centralized computing. What does it mean? Remember when we talked about a database? What did it mean? All our data is in a database, in one spot. In blockchain, what it is distributed, what does that sound like? Distributed means that it's gonna be distributed along the network. It's not going to be just one copy of the data. And blockchain is what they consider, you can watch this, but they have blockchain, it's like what it sounds like. It's a chain of data, and your data goes across a chain. And it's immutable. Put that in your notes here. We got to figure out that blockchain, they're telling me, is immutable. Blockchain is immutable. And if you don't know what that word is, what do we do? What do we do? Look it up. Where's my roll? Is my roll coming around? Who has my roll? You're the last one. You guys signed in? Who did not sign in? So do we put here? Oh, I wanted to do my mobile app. So everybody has their mobile app, so we'll be able to look at it. Okay. So I have my blockchain is based on what they call peer-to-peer technology. What does that mean? Instead of going to a centralized, I go to, for instance, Daniel. I have my data, I go to Daniel, and then Daniel then will go to Zach, and Zach will then go to part of the chain, will go down the chain. So read through this article. You have videos. Through this that talks about blockchain and the plans. Let me just tell you something, is blockchain in general is a public electronic ledger built around P2P, and P2P means what? Peer-to-peer system that can be openly shared among disparate users to create an unchangeable record of transaction. Another word for unchangeable is immutable. Each time stamped and linked to the previous one. And this, in this case, you can see here, block 1, block 2, block 3. And Bitcoin is an example of blockchain, but Bitcoin is just an example. So it's a way to store records. Let me tell you this, it is still in its infancy. They anticipate maybe 3 to 4 or 5 years it will be in production. Right now they have issues with speed in the transactions. But notice that it's important to understand public versus default, blockchains are public, meaning it's open to the public, but you can have an institution and just have private blockchains, and what it does, it eliminates the middle person, or it eliminates additional fees. And you will see that, okay? And here is how secure is it. It's still having some issues with security, and it's peer-to-peer. And the other one, if you look at what is blockchain technology, you'll hear is a step-by-step for beginners. This is a good overview for you on terms of, here's a little video on blockchain you can see on yourself. They'll talk about it, and they'll talk about blockchain, and they basically confer. Let me tell you the difference. Anybody use Google Docs? Who's used Google Docs before, right? And you want to have a word processing, or you want to have a spreadsheet. What's the difference if you're in a group and working with Google Docs versus working with Microsoft? Scott?
On Google, you can all work on it together. It's like a shared form.
Share. Rather than have to go to you, to go to you, to go to you. So the analogy, Scott, is blockchain is like Google Docs in the way that it's shareable. That I can do peer-to-peer, that I don't have to have that centralized unit there. So that's how you can think about it, is that it can be programmed, and you can see through this on what we are. So this is blockchain experience. I'd like you to make sure that you understand that by Wednesday. And they're talking about, for instance, Uber's trying to get into blockchain, Airbnb, a lot of shipping, a lot of finding out on the past. For instance, diamonds, supply chains are really good for where blockchain works. And here it is. The traditional way of sharing documents with collaboration is to send a Microsoft Word document to another recipient and ask them to make revisions. The problem with that scenario is that you need to wait until receiving a return copy before you can see it. Others are locked out. That's how databases work together, and then they tell you about the distributed part place when sharing involves a number of people. So this is a nice article. Okay, questions? So we know software is a service, and the other thing when we're talking about software is how to develop it. Traditionally, software, the way that software was written was it was a very long time. Almost like the thing is, once we did it, then we sent it to someone else. It could take months. What's the problem with that? We don't have months to do that. So we turn to something of agile development, right? That we can go and get, at least have something. So what I want to do right now is look at your agile development. So I'm going to go to Blackboard. I'm going to the audit area. And I'm going to course documents, and I'm going to start with group 1. Did you do it, my group 1? Did you do, have you started the mobile app?
Yeah, but the girl who has it isn't here.
Okay, then who is that girl that doesn't have it?
Olivia.
Olivia, okay. What is she using, Olivia? Okay. So what I'm going to need you to do is you're going to contact Olivia, and more than one person in your group, everyone in your group will show it on Wednesday, okay? Now, put this in your notes here. Who's using, what are we using? Anybody using AppyPie?
I think that's what she's using.
Okay, so she's using. How long does AppyPie last? Anybody know what the free version, huh?
3 days.
Okay, so it's a very short period of time. So if you're using any of those software programs, when are we going to present? We're going to present next week. And when is it due? The final is due. The final project is up and loaded. And for my final grading is the day of the exam, which is when? December 11th. So I need to see your final copies. So how are we going to get around that? Everybody understand the problem? What my goal, if I've been successful at all, is figuring out how to do solutions to problems. Figure out how we're going to do it. We don't have all the answers. So what do you think?
And just re-record the app.
Screen record your app, save it, and upload it when it's perfect. And what you could even do is you can have version 1, version 2, and version 3. Yes.
So we don't have to publish it?
Well, you can publish it. If you can publish it, and I can see it, and it can be for some of those, Ricardo, for some of the mobile apps, you have it for extended period of times, and you can publish it. But everyone, let me put this in our notes here, everyone should record your mobile app. When it's done, record it. So even if it's on your phone, you can record it with a recording. With your phone, you can, or if you're developing it in an emulator on your laptop, you can do it as well. But record it, save it with your voice. And it'd be good if you had other people in your group besides one, right, Ricardo? And basically have different versions. Maybe you do, this is version 1, this is version 2. This is the back end, this is the front end. Different ways, and then you have it. And the beauty here is, Ricardo, when you go out and you're trying to raise money or you're going for a job, at least this is something that you can show too, or you want to pursue this, or something similar, you have this already. You have a takeaway that you can take it with you. Because my goal here is that you have something to take away from this class. Because what are you going to take away? You're not going to take away the final exam. Right? You've given it to me, and that's when you wouldn't even want to take it back. Most likely, you know. Who wants it? You don't want to put it on the wall, right? You know, it's over with. It's like your exams. Hey, I got it over with, right, Scott? I got it out of the way. But with your project, I don't want it out of the way. At least this is the beginning. You say, hey, look what we've done, and maybe then you would want to improve it. At least now I have some more skills that I can pursue. So, Ricardo, so this is what I want to do if there were, and then just get someone else in your group maybe to apply again and get a more advanced version for it. If you can publish it with your app that you use, Daniel, then it'd be good to have both. But even so, I'd still want to have my recording, because you never know what's going to happen in a month. Because basically, hey, isn't this a coincidence? Today is what day? November 11th. When's our exam? December 11th, so it's exactly 1 month. So you want to be able to have that perfect. Okay. All right. So I have so that we need to have as my mobile app up and ready for Wednesday for me to look at. Okay, so what do I got? Ross, Will, Xander, and Austin, what do I got?
So our website's up, we're almost done with our PowerPoint, and we began our app, and that's the second.
Okay, so where is your website?
That's the first link.
I haven't seen that in a long time, have I?
It looks really good. You're gonna like it.
Thanks.
Okay, I'm gonna look.
We included
Well, at least you
you.
can.
Let's
We
go.
included you as an example.
Okay,
Say,
good.
like-
Well, I said you can. Okay, so
Right.
what do we do? We'll work it out. Check us out on the Apple. Okay, our Mission Home. I learned. So what should I look at?
You could just kind of scroll through it.
Yeah.
See that we included.
Yeah, that's me. Okay, good. So you got me. All right. But besides me, so I'm part of your group. So they think they're going to get extra credit because I'm part of the group. Maybe. Okay. It's not about a picture of me either, so it's good. But the question is, what I'm going to go back with you is, any comments on their group? What are they doing? If you don't have a comment, I have a comment. So write it down. My group is, I have some kind of moniker. What are we doing here? What's unique here? Right in the front, what's unique? I learn, I don't know. It sounds like me, I learn, you learn, we learn. What's unique here, I'm missing, and all of this, who's gonna read all that? You know what I mean? It's so small. I'd start off right away saying, so what would you tell me it is?
It's just an online educational software. It makes
Is-
learning easier.
Yeah, but what is it? You're capturing what? You're capturing videos, or what is it?
It's almost like another kind of form of Blackboard. We're just hoping to make it a little bit like easier to use.
So we need to get, for Wednesday, and stay with me even, we need to get somewhere in like one sentence what this is, and then show examples. Because I read through this, everybody fall asleep while we went through it. It's nice pictures and everything. I want my pictures in here, I want it to be good, right? So it's the idea, what are we doing? Is it basically what? So I'll end class early, and we need to hone in on what actually we're doing and give examples. Besides having me in there, is even giving examples. Are we giving like video? Are we basically combining hybrid online with real, with in class?
Yeah.
So we gotta see that.
Okay.
Do you understand? Where are we in the way that you can get the videos there, that you can get the quizzes online, that you can get explanations to the questions that you didn't get correct? Whatever that is, whatever's so unique here, we want it right in the top, and we want examples right there in the top.
Okay.
And we need to really work hard in your group to show that to me on Wednesday, because we don't have time. Okay? Next. So we haven't finished with that. So this, we haven't finished, right? I
Correct.
learned you.
We're on like this second page of our app.
Oh, okay, but this needs to be, you need to even divide up your group, and you have some people that are really gonna have to hone it. What are we showing? Where is it? How are we unique? You can even use my videos. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm showing examples.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Okay, what's the next one? Group 3. Blake, Cammy, Scott, and Zach. What do we got?
Yeah, so we have our website, and then we put a screen recording of our app on the top too.
Okay, here.
Yeah.
So should I go in here?
Yep.
And then when I go here?
Yeah. And this is like just a draft, but we wanted to get some.
Okay, good. We need to get something of it, right? Showing folder, let me just see here, where is it? Let's see if it'll run. Okay, folks, you see that? So at least, did you put audio with this?
No, I just did that.
Okay, but good, but it starts to look good, right? I'd overrun it with the audio too. Doesn't it look nice though? So, but I go with audio, and then I would also maybe even have 2 versions. One just how to use it, one about the program, something like that. But beautiful, doesn't it? So you really got, this needs to be done for every group for Wednesday, because what are we presenting? Monday. And if I can't give you feedback, we can't continue. What did you use? Which
We
software?
used BuildFire.
BuildFire. So those of you that are still struggling, BuildFire. It looks nice. Aren't you impressed? Can you publish it?
They like want money for that.
Oh, no money. Right. And then we'll get money from the investors to put that together, right?
Of course.
Right? We'll get the money from the investors, not from us right now. Okay? Once we're ready, once we get commitments, then I'm ready. You know what I mean? Very nice. Excellent.
And then our website,
Yeah.
we think it's close, but we just want kind of some feedback.
I'll be happy to give you feedback. Okay, where is it?
It's
Group
group 3.
Group 3. And notice, a lot of you can even, do you see how I give the same feedback to everybody? It's really no different. I gotta know upfront how you are unique. Just like I told the tutor recruiters, right? What do they, go to the other tutoring sites and get from them, and where are they unique, and how are you different? And even that of getting something. So where am I going?
It's the third one down.
Third one here?
Yeah, right there.
Okay. Okay, so you're Insta-tutor,
Yeah.
okay, affordable and quality tutoring on your time. What does it mean on your time?
So like you can FaceTime with a tutor at home. You don't have to go to a tutor yourself.
Like it's on your time, on your schedule, not like what works. for
Yeah,
you.
but my schedule, but it could also be on my premises. It could be there too.
Yeah, it could be both. If,
So I would put that there,
Okay.
because on my time, you understand?
yeah.
Doesn't it tell me, of course it's on my time,
Yeah.
right? I'm using, you're here on my time, you know what I mean? We're all on our time, we all have our time.
Yeah.
But it's the idea that you had to come, right? Ross, you had to come to class, but in this case, in yours, you don't have to be in class, you can be anywhere else and be part of the class. You could be in a way that there could be group tutoring and I could join in the group tutoring from my house. I had one student, you remember Alex, who always helps us, he just wrote, I have to go to the hospital, but I'll be okay. So he's surgery tomorrow, but if he could be in the hospital, right? They have internet access, and he could be from his hospital bed, he could be here. So something, because everybody wants affordable, everybody wants quality, but I'd say on my time, either online, are we doing physical too or no?
Yeah, both.
Okay, so that has to be, the tutors are a great resource. Imagine you're up at 1 and cramming, then you remember about an institutor. It has a lot of words here.
Yeah.
I would put even step 1. Almost make it like a little cartoon. Step 1, you're pulling your hair out. Step 2 is I'll call. It's 12 at night, right? Remember, and you got the exam. You can bring your phone up and you can talk to the tutor. 3 is I got a physics exam or a math exam. There's tutoring on campus. Are you on campus or no? Or you're all over the world?
All over.
Okay.
It's like an Uber model.
But you understand? But an Uber model, they come to me.
Or like you can order it whenever.
So are they gonna order? You gonna order a tutor? Are you gonna have a tutor come to my house?
You could do that, or if you want it to be cheaper, you could do it through computer, like through FaceTime.
Okay, so you have to say all these words I don't know.
Mm.
Too wordy,
Yeah.
and I still don't know what you're gonna do. You know what I mean? I'd even do 1, 2, 3. Nice kind of graphics and so forth, but I do 1. Everybody with me? Where are you gonna go? Pull my hair out, I don't know. 2, I didn't study all week. I didn't, all week, all semester. Now I'm stuck. And 3, I can FaceTime, I can do a group chat, I can do web conferencing, or I can do physical. And the question is what are the payments?
We did like kind of that. When you go up a little, find tutor now. If you go up, yeah, right there, the white box. We kind of did it there, like find a tutor now.
And what happens when I touch it? Yeah. A lot of stuff and I don't even know. Okay, so we got this. We got her. See, this is what you guys can do. My videos are up for you to use, right? But the idea, okay, she's talking about that, but she's not tutoring anybody.
Yeah, we were trying to focus
You
on just, like,
understand?
teaching.
So it's the idea, and then you'll have Dr. Rush, she'll be able she'll come in and tutor you in between the class. You can ask her classes remotely. Is this going to be on the exam? She'll explain those types of things or do a little video clip or something. So you got to show what it is. Because this, when I see this, it looks great, but where's the tutoring part? Another one that's, has my picture in it, so. Other than that. Did that help?
Yeah.
But it's for everybody. I don't care which group you are. I want to be able to say, we're unique and give me little snippets of what I can do to describe it. Tell a story. Who are my marketing people? Tell a story. Compelling. Okay. Very good. So you're on your road, but let's do it for Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because no one has gotten an A. Even close. Let alone a B. You know what I mean? But we can get there. I want you to walk away and say, I am proud of this. I don't even care what grade I am. God, and not only do I want to show it to my family, but I can be proud and I can show it to everyone. Because this is what I've done. I know it. and I can do it for you, or I can do it for myself. Everybody's gonna be a brand, right? We know it with social media and stuff, we know who we are. Okay, who else? Group 4, what do I have? I have Blake, Chris, Mike, and Luke, what's up? Do I have group 4? Quiet? Okay, group 4 doesn't work, we can see, what did they do? Website? We'll look at, what happened with their website? Not good, is it? Okay, not good. Okay, group 5. Trevor, Benning, Ben, Jared, and Levi. So what do we got, guys? We got a lot of guys.
We have our website up there.
And how is it?
It's pretty good in my opinion.
Okay, pretty
Come
good.
on.
Huh?
App is more of a work in progress.
App is getting done.
Okay, I don't even look at it. Let me just look at the website so I can give a thing. No need to worry when it gets done in a hurry.
We get it.
Okay. Okay, that's good. We need a little song with that. Okay, a little rap song wouldn't be bad. So what are we doing here?
So basically, like, our company is like, you can put stuff up there. Like, if you go to our mission, it kind of says the biggest problems with college students are money and time. You could sell stuff on this to other people on campus, or you could buy stuff on this, which saves your time. You could also you could order a task, like you fill out a request for a task to get done, and someone on campus who's like signed up as someone who works for the app. So say like I need a Starbucks coffee in the library, 2nd floor, throw that in the app, and someone could fill out that
So
request
like,
and get paid
okay,
for
so
it.
that's different than on buying and selling, isn't it?
It's like where you're it's like a marketplace. It's not like just buying and
It's like
selling.
everything.
There's a buy and sell thing, then there's a place to fill out requests, and we have all of our links up. You can right there log in. You can make an account on the website. You can see your shopping cart. Things are available to purchase. It's already set up to our.
And it's on campus, only for people on campus?
Yeah,
It's like a campus marketplace for like
Okay.
everything.
that's why we use
possible.
Hurry. It's like a hurricane, but also like
Oh,
a. I thought it was.
no, I have no clue on that one. Okay, first of all, this online campus marketplace, what should we do? Make it larger.
Alright.
You agree?
Yeah.
I mean, did anybody see that? I never even saw that. And then you make that big, and then give it, the main thing is doing it's like a Task Rabbit or one of those kind of, like it's a tackle kind of thing.
I guess, yeah.
So I just, 1 and 2, because I know they used to have like Facebook groups for UM if you were moving in and moving out, they still have that where you sell your stuff and you have to be like a UM student and you can buy, and then you feel more secure when you're going to their houses or something, almost like a Craigslist. So this is like a Craigslist, but it's also like a tackle.
Yeah, I guess.
I
I guess you could be more secure. We don't have this in there, but maybe you could, for if you're making an account, your C number could be required as verification to require you're actually a Miami student.
Okay, so well, you gotta decide. You can give the same advice like I told them, right? Right? Do I have to even say it?
No.
It's not, I don't know. You have to figure out as a group, what is your main goal here? And campus has to be, we're gonna start on this campus and then we'll move to other campuses. So that Hurry, maybe then we can brand it for your school or something later on. So, anybody writing this down on part of your notes in your group here?
My computer
Right,
just died.
right, so basically here is the idea, I'd say, you can do branding for each school, and start off with this one school, and maybe what the big thing is, what's gonna be a bigger need, to get tasks done, or to buy and sell? I don't know. And then for events or something, I need rides, is it gonna be for rides too? I need a ride to the game, I need a ride to South
You have
Beach.
Uber for that. I feel like it's not.
Yeah, so then you gotta decide what.
Yeah. It's more
What-
like just tasks that like.
So I would put tasks and I would put examples of what are problems with students.
So that users can be so that users aren't confused as to what the tasks that people can do are.
Yeah.
So give examples to them so that
And
they're
give
okay,
little
this is-
cute scenarios, I need to go like you say, is that really something that, you know what students would wanna pay for a task, and you know what somebody else would do for somebody, for it, and give like little scenarios, and up front, no need to worry, we get it done in a hurry, but what do we get done?
Whatever it is.
Whatever it is, but somehow explain it, because this, you know what this looks like to me? This looks like pack and ship, UPS. When I look at this.
Well, I guess that's part of it, because you can order stuff from online from other people, and then they ship it to you, so. like,
Yeah, but if it's on.
It's on campus.
I
You know what I mean? You understand? This looks to me like pack and ship. You'll pack me my stuff and you'll bring it to, you know, the UPS store.
Alright. Trevor's not here today, but we'll talk with him.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that's open to everybody. It's nowhere near. You know what I mean? You want it concise. Hey, I know what it is. Here I know buying, selling. What am I buying? What am I trading? You know, it's all over the place and I don't know. Okay? What else? Who else wants me to look? Let me just go here. Anybody course documents? So what group are you guys? 5 for Trevor, 6. Scott, Casey, Ezra, and Daniel. Do I need to sit down?
So, did you go to buildfire.com?
Oh, you want me to, no, to go to another
Yes.
buildfire.com?
The app's not ready yet. Take a look at it.
It's not?
You can just look at the website, yeah.
Okay, so where's the, is there anything new I need to do on the website that you've done since?
A little bit,
What
not a
I was,
lot.
okay.
We change some things.
Okay, we gotta wait, we're on our way, okay? All right, let me just go through here. So what do I need to do here is, group 4 was my problem group. Group 5, we've done group 6, Angela, Jillian, Ricardo, and Shane, what's up?
We created the app,
But what?
I just put it on my thing.
Huh?
But the app is there.
Do you want me to look at it or no, it's not?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, screen, and what about your website?
It's all done.
And how is that? Did I make a
Yeah,
comment?
you can watch it. You can see if you want.
Well, not if I want, is there a need for me? I know I could want a lot of things, I appreciate it, you guys, but it's for you, okay?
I'm gonna go.
Okay, we got this about us, good. We gotta start.
And there, like,
Oh, it's
I see
for the
the future
paint,
was on
okay,
the
good,
other
we got the home people, we're starting. And you use Bill Fire for this, what did you use?
Happy
Appy Fire, okay. All right, and then that's it?
No, I keep on going, just. And there would just show like the types of paints that like are compatible with the QR codes.
Uh-huh,
And
okay. And speak with these two, make another version.
then, and that would be a camera, but there wasn't a feature for a camera. So,
Okay, so that's why you need to
yeah.
talk about it. Okay, and test your app. Okay, so we gotta start. Okay. Oh, my
Oh,
God.
God.
How did this happen, huh?
You hit the back button.
Why, huh? That's funny.
It was on your downloads.
Yeah, right, yeah, but I'm just saying, we got the gun again. Okay,
This comes out of the school zone.
right, it was scary, you know, it was shooting me. Okay, okay, so Dr. Suki, and then Alex, and Brian, and George, what's up?
Our website's almost done and our app is almost done too.
Okay, so do you want me to look at anything? Okay,
That's right.
all right. And then what else do I have here? I have group 9, group 10, Tyler, Matt, Cameron, and Alec. What's up?
Yeah, we're midway through our app, and we wanna go back and fix stuff with our website, because our design, we aren't really satisfied with.
Okay,
So we're just gonna go back and.
okay, but everybody understands.
Yeah, we know.
So everybody knows what to do. There's not really, I don't think, there's one group that doesn't understand what they need to do. I have to really well define, some of you more than others have to well define how am I unique and tell it in short little clips and then do little scenarios, quick little scenarios going up and down, or maybe even do a little screencast. But all this reading and all those paragraphs, after I read it, I just go, right? And then I don't even know what you're doing. And you don't, and then among yourself. So we got it, we just gotta refine it and give it a punch. Let you say, hey, that's it. And then even look at others, look at your competitors. Even if you're doing that buy and selling the campuses, and then you're having another part of what? Doing like a tackle kind of thing of doing tasks, look at them. Take some of their punchy lines, right, that you can do. And then you can, and then show what your idea. If you're a student, like if I'm doing tutoring or if I'm doing these tasks, why does somebody want to invest in you? Is because you know that group. If you ask me, I say I don't know what you guys want, and you know at 10 o'clock at night. I know what I want 10 o'clock at night, but completely different. You know what your parents want at 10 o'clock at night. It's not the same thing you want.
What's that?
You know what I mean? So whatever it is you want, you're hungry or whatever. But if I just want food, I can get to, I can call Uber Eats or something. Or I can call the pizza place, order. So what are you unique in terms of getting them? How about that? And then my recruiter, or tutor recruiters, whatever it's the name. We need to get, and how are we doing with the website? Have we done anything since? Is it better? You want me to look at it?
Yeah.
Me too. Okay, so let me just go back here. What group? One, right? Always number one. Okay, so where's the website? We'll end with that. Where's your website? Fine. So what you need to do is what? Put your URL right there. That should be done right now. And I don't have to go into it. So quick, move on. We will do it, but just so I let you know, we'll divide it up on Monday and Wednesday. Next week we'll do presentations. What I want in the presentations is do it like a PowerPoint or a Prezi or whatever, with everybody in the group, basically talking about, what's the problem, how are you solving it, what's the competition, quickly, and then you can have a link to your website, have a link to your PowerPoint, and we said that last part is what are the next steps? What am I that I'm not able to do in this semester? What are my next steps that we're going to be doing? What are the next steps that we have? And then I want also a slide. Put this in your notes. I didn't tell you this before. I want a slide of what each person in your group did. Some people in the group are less than others, right? We'll do peer reviews, but what each person did. So I did the website, I did the app, I created whatever. So there'll be a slide on that. So how do we do different? So lead me through this.
Oh, under about. Oh, we also changed the indicator. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we added a video of someone being tutored.
Okay, so at least we're starting to do that. Oh, okay.
And then we added all of those two things, the pricing and.
Okay. And the subjects. Okay, and how are you different from another tutor?
It's cheaper.
Well, you gotta figure out what is it and how much do you get. That has to come back. So for Wednesday, I need this site to distinguish how the pictures are much better, right?
We put our own video.
And you put your own video. The next thing is up front is how are you unique? How am I going to get the services? Am I calling in? Am I going to? Is this just on campus? Is this you're only accepting people on campus? You're accepting everybody from the world? Are you starting with campus? Everybody just at UM are coming, and then we'll move on to other classes, other campuses. Is this for everyone? If we give a chemistry or a calculus tutoring session in this room on Tuesday, can anybody come? Can FIU people come? Can anybody from the community come? That has to be stated here. Who's this for? You got it? What else? You see my method of thinking. Okay? So on Wednesday, we will do another review. I will go into more detail of what the exam's going to be. Kind of start already. Reviews, what kind of questions we'll have for the open-ended. We have all the quizzes up now. So we're finished, so next week, we can do quickly our presentations because I just want to have it, for each group, I just want to say, fine, you just need to change a little this, show it to me the following week. Okay, nice job.
I wrote down everything you said has to be on it.
What?
I wrote down everything. What?
Jared, you going to Red Road?
So you guys need to work on the
Jared.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Cause I don't know if they can, but I'll
Do you understand?
Thank you.
I have a project for tomorrow, and I'm very good at I'll do accounting on this. Yeah. I think I have his, I'll see you.
So I just taking her on Tuesday. It's tomorrow. I'm so excited.
I was there. I went to the game Mr. Rock last week.
No,
Thank you.
of course. You see, go to see the Rock. You see Russ.
You've got a lot of work already.
What?
You got a lot of work.
Yeah, we're gonna meet.
But you understand what I'm saying? What did you understand? What I said?
Well, we have to, one thing, change the font of the online marketplace. I think we have to make that more of a, like, I think we should make that more of like the name, kind of, like online marketplace. And there's just other things, like.
But I don't understand what you're actually doing. You give examples, small little examples of why should I use this? And it's a marketplace and I can go a lot of places to get stuff and buy stuff. So why should I buy stuff here versus I can buy it from other places?
I think we gotta like reiterate that it's just like, it's supposed to be just for like a community-based students to trust other students.
See, so those are kind of words that you need and then show it. You know what I mean? It's a comfort place that I'm coming to.
Yeah, I think like,
And so,
Just go
and more,
through everything.
and you know what else I think is
These are like,
too?
everything's like
It's like,
everything you need on our
that you
thing.
can involve everybody.
Like,
You
you
know,
yourself.
Yeah, well,
Females, you
it's
know,
gonna be, we're gonna
I
have
don't want
pictures and
somebody
like the
coming
same
to
stuff
my
from the
room,
website.
you know, I
Yeah.
want to sell something.
Try to
or I
do
wanna
each, like try
But
to
it's
do
just,
your own.
what are examples
Slide
of
for
what
that.
kind of
I got
tasks
one
you can
competition.
do?
Try to get like
And then you should have another
nice
area
pictures for this.
in which
I'm not saying to go get
Yeah.
a shot done,
the
but like
students
just
can
having
come
your
up
buddy or
with,
something, just take a picture of it. and see
suggestions.
it's not
Do you think like,
Yeah, I
some
think
stuff
so.
we should have in like presentation, in like the PowerPoint?
Yeah, I agree.
Look, it'll
Like the examples from also website?
And then just
The
include
website-
like,
the
stuff
website-
she said, like she said,
you
like where you
first should-
contributed, like
You
your
first should
majors, that type of
concentrate
stuff.
on that
Like
website.
that can be
That
on the
website
website.
is put up
And
there,
then
but
for this one, okay, so we have
you don't get
one.
the essence of what you're doing, and you have to sit as a group and say,
Do you,
what are
no,
you?
we read it.
And maybe
The
even
whole
what
text
you
was
are
essentially, right?
is
Remember
cast
the website?
first.
Yeah,
So
no, that's not.